Warning: the following content contains a lot of spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to click off this video and watch a different video of mine. You're free to come back here after you completed the anime. Viewers' discretion is advised. This is a rare moment you see me not acting happy over an anime. This anime sucks. I thought this would be a decent/mediocre anime, but no. This anime is extremely horrible. Let's get right to the introduction.勇者が死んだ, also known as The Legendary Hero is Dead, is based on a manga series written by Suba Ruichi. It lasted over 20 volumes and 202 chapters from 2014 to 2020, while the anime series was released in 2023 and lasted only 12 episodes. It was animated by Leiden Films, an animation studio that also animated a lot of other anime. Alright, let's get right to the plot. We start the anime with a farmer named Toka, and Toka is an extremely weird person. Toka is a pervert who is into putting stockings on women's legs for whatever reason.
Brother,
However, he is also someone who protects the village by setting traps for the demons to fall into, so he is at least good for that. But one day, when his childhood friend named Yuna gets attacked by a demon, she gets saved by the legendary hero named Shion. When Shion appears, Yuna starts crushing on him and forgetting that Toka even exists, which makes Toka feel upset. This next part I would say is something that you won't even believe me on. When Shion starts smelling food cooking, he goes to the area where he falls into a hidden spike trap, and it instantly kills him. Turns out Toka set up the trap that was meant to be for the demon who attacked Yuna. Due to how Shion died, Toka and the whole village decide to bury Shion's body so they won't get blamed for his death. The next morning, Toka wakes up as Shion's corpse, and he doesn't know how, so Toka goes outside and finds the person who did it. Turns out it's a necromancer named Henri who swapped Toka's soul into Shion's corpse. Why did she do it? Due to how Toka caused Shion's death, she wanted Toka to be the legendary hero and save the world. So Toka gives in and goes on a journey with Henri alongside Yuna. Here is what happened on each journey. First, everyone in town believes Toka, as Shion, is an imposter due to how Toka is unable to use Shion's sword and cannot fight. Moments later, one of Shion's former teammates named Kyle takes Toka with him from those people where Kyle is now with Toka, Yuna, and Henri. So the next day, they go on a demon quest where they would fight demons in a castle. During the fight, Kyle reveals his true intentions for joining the squad. He wanted to destroy Toka's soul to end Shion's life for good, which he tried multiple times, but by the end of that, Kyle fell for a trap set up by Toka, and it's over for Kyle, for now. Second, the group travels to the royal capital so Toka, as Shion, can go and speak to the king. So when Toka goes to the king's castle to speak to him, the king instead takes him to the princess named Marguerite. While that is happening, Yuna and Henri are kidnapped by the doctor of the royal capital, and he's extremely weird about it. He's obsessed with bones, and he wants to remove their flesh and take their bones so he can keep them to himself. Later on, when Toka, as Shion, and Marguerite are together, Marguerite finally realized that Toka, as Shion, is fake, because his personality is completely different. So Marguerite runs away, and she runs into the doctor, whose name is Leland. Toka, on the other hand, was chasing Marguerite down until she saw her with Leland. Toka tries to save Marguerite, but he fails to save her. So Toka asks two of Marguerite's guards to help Toka save Marguerite, which they do. They also save Yuna and Henri so they can help Marguerite. By the end of that, Leland gets defeated and Marguerite gets saved. The team would then leave the royal capital and go back on their journey. Also, surprisingly, Marguerite decides to join the team and go on their journeys to continue on. Third, the team goes to a town where it's infested with zombies. Yuna would be bitten by a zombie and get infected. Since Yuna is infected, Henri uses her necromancy powers and controls her body so she is not infected. After that, it leads to a long, boring fight scene with the zombies, until Yuna's sister named Millie and her father named Fiori shows up and save the party members. By the way, Toka has been controlling Yuna's body since it was a decision from Henri. After a while, the person in charge of controlling the infected people is another necromancer named Diego. So after the team knows they can't defeat Diego, Diego goes and leaves them since they aren't worth his time. Fast forward a bit since Toka has been experiencing something weird. He's back in his childhood as a child. He even sees Yuna, which means she's still alive and her soul is seen only by Toka. Turns out the reason why he's in this illusion is due to a demon controlling it. So Toka turns back into his Shion form and kills the demon so it will stop controlling him. So he and Yuna are saved. Another fast forward since the team goes to the area where Diego is located, so they had to defeat Diego before Yuna turns into a demon. Toka is the person who can try to defeat Diego. He tries, but he ends up passing out. While he's passed out, he sees Shion in his illusion. Turns out Shion can help Toka defeat Diego. Meanwhile, surprisingly, Kyle shows up to get revenge on Toka, which means he survived. However, Kyle can't really get revenge on Toka since Diego is there. So after a while, Toka is alive in Shion's body, and Shion is alive in Toka's body. So they both go and defeat Diego, and the demons betray Diego for killing a fellow demon of theirs, ending Diego once and for all. Also, Yuna's soul is now back in her body, which is good. In the end, there is not really anything for me to say, which means the anime ends here. I'm sorry I didn't really say a lot of things here. This plot was really uninteresting and not good at all. That's why you hear me in a completely disappointed mood. Let's move on to the animation. The animation was eh. It's good, but at the same time, I didn't really enjoy it that much because it made me lose track of the anime and didn't make me pay better attention, but I still find it better than other horrible animation I have been through before. Let's move on to the opening and ending themes. The opening song is actually pretty good, but the opening itself is pretty bland. The opening song itself is basically the only good thing about this anime. This opening is performed by Masayoshi Oishi. The ending is mediocre. It's not my type of music I listen to, so I have no words about it. This ending is performed by Marguerite's voice actress, Eureka Kubo. Let's move on to the voice acting. The voice acting. Even though I found the humor to be funny, the humor here fits in something you can hear in a parody anime rather than a serious anime like this. So they might as well mark the genre of this anime from adventure and fantasy to parody instead. Let's move on to the pacing. Okay, I would say that the pacing isn't bad since it's not as bad as I thought. Even though I wasn't enjoying the anime at all, the pacing was at least fast enough for me to complete it quickly. Time for my final review. The only thing I would say here is that I hope this anime never gets a season 2, since this anime is horrible. Time for my next anime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is next. Okay, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is next. Alright then. Time for my outro. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And please follow my socials in the description down below. And since you know what my next anime is going to be, stay tuned for that. Until then, this is Enjeru, signing off.